I do have, actually I have a student which we interact very frequently. She's a Muslim from Indonesia. And also I also made some friends who are also Muslim, mostly in America or in Canada. Okay, so basically my idea to actually myself, I'm a Buddhist. So I think I know quite well about how the Buddhism teaching and the method, maybe also something related about Christianity and the Catholicism. But actually I am not sure if I know enough to discuss about the Muslim culture, because the Muslim to me is quite, quite remote, quite distant. Yeah, I have some Muslim students and friends, but we rarely discuss about the Muslim culture. It's mainly in academic discussion or some kind of daily life stuff. So I think I know very little about Muslim. But of course I read some news from TV. Most of them are really not a good news.
In the past, I have several students. They are from different countries. For example, from Palestine, from Indonesia. They all have some of the students. I'm not familiar with Muslim culture at all.
Okay, frankly speaking, I don't know much about the Muslim until I come to NCTU. In NCTU, I met some nice Muslim students, such as Hani, and he is the first Muslim student I met. Okay, and he is very friendly.
You know what? I don't think I have had many Islam students ever, and I have taught. Okay, I have taught in the US, I've taught in Canada, in Taiwan, and a little bit in Thailand. I don't recall having too many Islamic students. But my perspective on Islam came primarily from the fact that I'm from Thailand. And I don't know if you know about Thailand, but we have a large population of Muslim people. Right, so we, as children growing up in Thailand, we learn about Islam as well in our school. But of course, we didn't learn too many things about Islam because we had to learn about Buddhism. The majority of people in Thailand are Buddhist. But we did have to learn about Islam formally in the class as part of our social science curriculum.
But I know all the religions, they have some groups, they are very radical, and some are more milder, or much milder or more peaceful. So I think, as far as I know, most of the Muslim friends or students I know, they are all very, very nice people. Yes, that's what from my daily life, my daily experience. So yeah, but I think that there must be some kind of problem between the conflict between the Muslim culture or some kind of Western culture. But I think everybody has to respect each other. There's no such people say they are definitely good guys and some other people are bad guys. There must be some kind of different opinions. So we have to respect each other. And the very important thing is how to build a bridge between these two cultures. So more understanding, more mutual understanding is very important. So I'm also very happy for having this chance. Maybe I can learn something more about Muslim culture and the people who live in the Islamic countries. Yeah, I'm very happy for having this chance to interact with you guys. Yes.
But I think all the religions, they are very similar to mathematical model. You have basic assumption, and then based on that, you generally are the related facts or theory. Okay, and different religion, they may have different basic assumption. Okay, so in a way, I think the purpose of this religion, they all means good for the people's life, or to bring good to the peoples. Okay, so but the execution may be not in the right way or whatever, to have this tragedy in the world right now. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, so I'm not because that's the only thing I can say. So I think I betray everybody and every religion fail, but because the purpose of initially the purpose should be good, but the execution part may be in a wrong way or in a wrong hand of the people.
And so I think most of the Muslims are very friendly and nice. Recently the news is all about ISIS, so yeah, I think that it brought the negative image. Yes, but I'm sorry about that.
I grew up in the 80s. So in the 80s, the most famous war, one of the most famous wars were about the Iran and Iraq people. They fought at that time, and we learned later that they fought because they were both Islam, but they belonged to different sects in Islam. So one is Shia, another one is Sunni. Some Islamic people may not like each other. That we know. But we never imagined that Islamic people would start killing Christians in mass. So my first experience of thinking of Islam as potentially violent is September 11th, because that was, I happened to be in the States. Yeah, I lived in the United States from 1996 to 2004. Suddenly, a lot of people looked at Islamic people as potentially terrorists related, and as a Thai person, I think it's not right, but I have to admit that radical Islams are quite scary people. I want to think that they are wrong, the radical Islam and the jihadists. I really want to think that they are wrong, that they have misunderstood something big. But now I think it's also, the radical Islamism is also mixed with political aspiration. Yeah, I think that by this time, my image of Islam cannot be as pure and naive and positive like the way it used to be when I was young, because there are enough evidence from around the world for me to see that something very wrong is happening.
Yeah, okay, of course, just following my previous comment that, there are so many different, there are some news happening in the world every day. And I believe there must be some kind of misunderstanding between these two groups. I mean, maybe people who are Christian or people who are Muslim, and also myself as a Buddhist. So maybe the most interesting part to me is what's the fundamental teaching about Islam. We know the people, I mean, you play call your Allah or
Allah.
Okay. So this name we heard very frequently, but really I know there's a Bible, Muslim Bible called Quran. Quran. Okay, yes, but it seems to us we really have chance to read it. Maybe even to the Christian Bible. I mean, sometimes we have chance to read some chapter and hear people talking about the Bible, what the Christians say to people, but it's really rare. I mean, to us to know anything about the saying, the teaching from your Allah. Yeah. So maybe if you can give us a very precise, a very fundamental teaching of Muslim, that would be very helpful to us. Yeah, and also maybe if you can have some kind of why there are some groups they are so radical. But it seems to me most of you are very peaceful, so there must be some kind of different, beliefs. Yeah. So if you can clarify this kind of point to us, that would be very helpful, especially to us who don't have so many chances to learn about Muslim teachings in the daily life. Yeah, that's what I think I'm very interested about this point.
The only thing is that because I know. Most of the Muslims they don't eat pork. The reason I don't know, but that's for curiosity. Why? Is it because in the past they don't grow pork in that area, or what kind of reason, especially for the pork, for the pig?
There are Islamic radicals in Thailand who would every day kill teachers and Buddhist monks and also civilians, and I don't quite understand why. So I cannot believe that the Quran would teach people to kill other people the way that people claim, the radical Islams claim. But also the role of women in Islam, because again, growing up in Thailand, the Islam girls that I saw in Thailand, I may not know them personally, but we saw them on the news or whatever, they could go to school. They were not treated in any way different from the boys, except of course they have to dress like the way you do. But then after I went to the US, I started learning about Afghanistan. And I saw, you know, people in Afghanistan completely covered up. Or women in Saudi Arabia also completely covered up. Even worse, they had to wear black the whole time, like no other colors, just black, right? At least the burqas in Afghanistan came in different colors. But women in Saudi Arabia could not drive. They could not go by themselves. I guess they could go to school. Not going to school is more Afghanistan style. Right? There's only one Quran, right? There's only one book. How can the interpretation be so drastically different? Having said that, the Quran is in Arabic, right? In the Arabic language. And the Arabic language is a modern language, not like Latin. So why is there such a drastic mistranslation? I cannot imagine.
I think that in Taiwan, most of the people believe in Buddhism, Christian, Catholic, and some local religion. And I really think that this is a really good opportunity for local students to know more about Muslim. And I really hope that Muslim Student Association could build a good relationship with us and let us have more chance to know more about Muslim culture. Yeah.